That shiny just got away from me, Zoku.
No, I can't seem to find a picture here. Wait, oh shit, we're live. Hi, welcome back to Lady Arcaders Out of Bounds Torontrois. We're definitely not playing video games or anything here. No video games here at Lady Arcaders Out of Bounds Torontrois at all, right, Chafee?
No video games.
No.
Video games aren't real.
No. Wait, they're not real?
They're not real.
I don't know what we're going to tell the crowd now because coming up, we've got Super Mario 64 DS 80 star being run by Emily the Koopa.
We have a real gamer?
We have a real gamer. All right, well, let's send it on over to a real gamer.
Hi everyone, my name is Emily the Koopa. I should probably stop playing Luigi cards now and actually start the game. But yeah, today I'm going to be playing Super Mario 64 DS 80 star, and the game starts with a 2-minute cutscene, so I'm just going to jump right into that. If we're ready to start on time, in 3, 2, 1, go.
Good luck, have fun.
Thank you. So, this game is a remake of the 1996 classic, Super Mario 64. I wouldn't be surprised if, a bunch of people here have probably seen speedruns of Super Mario 64 before, but maybe not seen speedruns of Super Mario 64 DS. And so all I have to say to people in that situation is forget everything you know about Super Mario 64.
Got it.
Will this be on the test?
The test is just for bonus marks, but yes, it will be on the test.
Oh, crap.
Oh, we're studying.
Yeah, so this game has 4 different characters. Only 2 are worth using in a speedrun, unfortunately. So we will be playing as Yoshi and Mario in this speedrun. Unfortunately, the Wario fans did not bribe me enough to unlock Wario during this run, but we will be leaving him captured, unfortunately. So 80 star is the category where we complete the game sort of, in the intended way. It's like any %, no major skips. We're going to be getting 80 stars, which is enough to unlock, the secret of the endless staircase and make it up to the final Bowser fight. And yeah, we're going to be entering every major level in the game along the way, as well as some secret stages like unlocking Mario and things like that. And yeah, this game has a lot of really cool movement and a lot of really unique tricks, and I'm excited to show it off. And the cutscene's about to be finished here, so I'll gain control of Yoshi, and we'll be off. Alright, starting out. Movement in this game is a lot of long jumps if we're going in a straight line. Traveling along the ground, basically, long jumps, that's all it is. But a lot of the stages will be a lot more vertical than the castle grounds, so there's going to be a lot of mixing it up. Anyway, the first trick coming up here, I'm going to try to eat this rabbit, but also ground pound in midair, there we go, so that I can spit out the rabbit and start running away before it starts playing its cutscene. Yoshi does not want to hang around and talk to a rabbit. Yoshi will start running towards the castle, which actually skips part of that cutscene, where the rabbit is supposed to physically throw the key to you, but if the key starts off camera, that cutscene just kind of never happens, and you never lose control of Yoshi. So the key still is flying towards you, but you're allowed to just start traveling towards the castle, so that saves a nice bit of time there. And we're going to be entering the first level here. The first level is Bob-omb Battlefield. There's only 1 star we're going to collect here. We're going to be out of here real quick. We're just going to go see our buddy the Chain Chomp with a nice big triple jump here. Triple jumps are to vertical movement as long jumps are to horizontal movement. Triple jumps are very strong in this game. They're very easy to perform. They're very, lenient with the timing, and they give you an incredible amount of height, especially with Mario. Yoshi's triple jump is alright, but Mario's is really what we're going to use to scale all the walls and heights in this game. And there's our first star.
Well, that was easy.
Yep, that was really easy. We're gonna get our first little text box here. After certain numbers of stars, the game like tells you, hey, you should like go look around and maybe there's something that unlocks when you get 1 star, hint hint. So we're gonna be traveling up to this door over here. Gonna take a sip of water.
I never got that hint as a child.
Alright, and I'm gonna be doing the Princess's Secret slide. I'm not going to be taking the entire slide though, hopefully. I'm going to be skipping most of it. With a little bounce off the wall there. And a flutter jump out into the void. And we're at the bottom of the slide, just like that. 1551, not bad.
How do you discover something like that?
Well, you know, the slide doesn't have any walls around it once you get past the first segment, so, you know, simple, hey, why don't we just jump all the way down?
Don't try that at home, kids.
Don't do that, yeah. Alright, we're entering our second major level now. This, honestly, I think of it as one of the hardest levels in the run sometimes. Womp's Fortress has a lot of really precise movement with Yoshi. And yeah, I'm gonna try to be making a cycle here. Oh, nice. Made that elevator cycle with a nice side flip ledge grab there, which is the fastest way up to King Womp, more or less. And of course I missed the attack on the King Womp. You've got to ground pound his back 3 times as he, you know, slams down onto the ground as he does. Very easy boss fight. It's supposed to be one of the first or second bosses you face. And, oh, look at that. Right inside the star. That's perfect lineup right there. Which, I mean, I definitely did on purpose. And I definitely do all the time, of course.
Of course.
Obviously.
Yeah.
There's 3 stars. Now we can unlock doors that have a 3 on them. I bet you would never have guessed that based on the doors that have a 1 on them.
Never.
I've been making a theme of learning numbers this event, so thank you for helping me learn.
I did not get a side flip there, so I had to do a little ledge grab, which might actually just be enough to make me not make the cycle, but that's okay, because there's a backup star. Oh, you just kind of have to jump off the edge there. Very scary, because if you miss that star, it's very annoying to get back up.
You made that look so smooth.
It's just the early game in this is a lot of muscle memory, I gotta say. Alright, let's see if I can get that side flip one more time. There we go. It's sort of a forward side flip. You know, side flip is supposed to be when you're changing direction. Oh, I missed the elevator. Oh no. Oh, I'm gonna have to just ride the elevator now. That's okay. Yeah, side flips are supposed to be when you're changing direction, but if you just sort of do a full 360 with the circle pad, you change direction to backwards and then forwards, so you can basically do a side flip forwards instantly. That's a pretty cool trick for when you need just that right amount of height. And speaking of tricks, we're going to come up on the first real glitch of the run. I mean, if you don't count the rabbit trick. We're going to be clipping through a solid object with the power of pausing the game and nothing else. First try. Just pause the game right there, right as you ground pound into the cannon, and for 1 frame the game forgets that the cannon is there. It's still focusing on... it's still worried about being paused, and the pause screen shows a different thing. It shows like the level from really zoomed out. I missed that jump there, hang on. But yeah, since the pause screen shows the level from a really far away camera, it doesn't bother loading the small objects like a cannon lid, so you can just clip right through them while the game is paused like that. Now if I could get this star, there we go. That'd be great. Yoshi's like sort of tongue attack has like a homing effect, so it will be able to grab stars like that pretty often, but I was just not lining that jump up well enough for even the homing attack.
I never knew you could use Yoshi's tongue to get stars.
Yeah, sometimes it's useful, like right there. Anyway, the last star we're gonna get in this area is the owl star. We're not gonna be doing owlless in this run. You can do owlless in this game, but it is much easier as Mario But just the way the route works out, I'm doing this level mostly as a Yoshi, so we're just taking the owl. It doesn't lose that much time, honestly. But we're done with Womps. Definitely no more stars left in that level. Definitely no reason to come back later. I definitely did not leave anything behind. Man, good thing we're not going to see Womps again. You know, sometimes I take for granted the fact that I have a live split open that says all of the levels I need to go to and which order they are.
Honestly, that's just another one of the speed struts.
I knew I would forget at some point which level to go to after another. But anyway, we're entering this little mini level right here, exclusive to this game. It's a Super Mario Sunshine inspired level. And it's just got one mission, just silver star collecting. Gonna jump up to the mountain here, and then using Yoshi's tongue again. Gotta eat that star from on top of the palm tree. And then we can grab the other 2 stars, and that's this level. Whoop. Missing my angles there, but that's okay. Now the one problem with this level is this bird at the end. If he attacks you, drop the star, this star despawns, it loses a bunch of time, so I'm going to be very careful there to avoid the bird. You don't want to get hit by Klepto. Alright, now we have 8 stars. That's a good number of stars. 8. Apparently we can now unlock doors with an 8 on. Oh look, there's one now! Wow, funny how that worked out. Having 8 stars.
I don't even know if I can count to 8.
I
It's
couldn't.
easy. 1, 2, 3,
alright, hang
8.
on.
Oh, gotcha.
Nice. I got a sliding momentum jump right there. That was a tough little trick. You have to like preserve your momentum by going neutral on the control stick. It's a whole thing. This game has some weird mechanics with sliding momentum because you conserve it better when you're not holding a direction, which is very interesting. But yeah, with enough momentum I can make it over that entire first gap. Very nice to hit that trick. And now here's probably the easiest boss fight in the game because didn't account for the fact that you could just enter the stage already having a weapon. So he kind of never gets to move. So yeah, there's the Goombas quick kill.
Once again, super fast. Emily, I've got a question for you if you don't mind answering.
Yeah.
So this is Super Mario 64 DS, emphasis on the DS because that's different from the N64 version. Do you find that like a lot of it is difficult for anyone who doesn't know the differences?
If you try to switch from playing one game to the other, it will be very hard to adjust to just because of all the, control differences, mechanic differences. Just the little things that you don't notice unless you're playing feel very different, like, jumping and kicking and diving are completely different between the two games. Also, that entire level we just did, unlocking Mario is not a thing you have to do in the original 64, so it's got a lot of unique stuff in it too. Speaking of that level, I'm just going to be jumping right back into it as Mario because there's a secret star in there. A secret star that cleverly requires Mario to get, so... Oh, just gonna make that scary jump over the gap there. And then jump between these Goombas. And we're using Mario's wall jump, which is actually a technique exclusive to Mario. Probably one of the more controversial choices in this game is only letting Mario wall jump. None of the other 4 characters can. So only Mario can get that star. It's very difficult for challenge runs. Alright, Cool Mountain. This honestly, I know I said this about Womps, but this might be the hardest stage in the game actually. A lot of precise jumps, easy places to die, and we're going to be doing another out of bounds trick. Would you believe me if I told you the out of bounds trick is probably the easiest part of the level? And continuing with the trend of skipping slides by just jumping all the way down to the bottom. Do not try this at home, again. Alright. So the next star I'm gonna do is gonna be that out of bounds trick that I mentioned. It's the switch star. Switch stars are exclusive to this game. You might have noticed it in the previous level. But you press a switch on the ground and it makes a star spawn somewhere else. In this case, it makes a star spawn under a sheet of ice that only Wario can break. We're not playing as Wario though. But you're gonna see how we're gonna try to get that star right now. But first I have to actually get there. That's fine, we'll land on the bridge. This jump is probably more annoying than the actual trick. But landing on the bridge is like the safe version of it, you know, take a safety. Okay, gotta carelessly grab this ledge here. And then... No, get the start! Oh.
No!
I was so scared it was gonna run out. The switch star is pretty tight timing for that.
Out of bounds at out of bounds.
There we go. I've done my required out of bounds movement. That's actually illegal, but you know, I had to do it for the run. No.
Thank you for remaining on brand.
This category does allow out of bounds glitches as long as they happen within a level. You're not allowed to go out of bounds in the castle or do any funny glitches there, because that would definitely defeat the purpose of the category. But now we're going to be doing our first 100 coin star, I believe. For this one, we're going to sort of fall down halfway down the mountain to collect some of these coins on the way back up. Probably not the way you're supposed to be doing this, but you know, Mario's long jump is enough to get him up the entire mountain again. And then we're going to enter the cabin. 27 coins. That's a pretty good number. So there I just did a little mechanic also exclusive to this game where you can actually charge up running by just sort of running in place for a little bit. And that gives you sort of like a boosted speed state. In that case, it just makes it easier to line up the blue coin at the beginning. I'm going to focus here so I don't miss a coin. Very precise coin count here. Gotta have enough. Okay, we're chilling. Should be good. Okay, good. Okay, have 101 coins. Barely enough, but now that we're at the end, I can, excuse me, I can jump and get the star here. And that actually skips the 12-star text that tells you you can go fight Bowser now, because Mario gets interrupted by how slippery the floor is. Easiest way to skip text in the game, just be standing on something slippery. So yeah, that charging up running mechanic, you will see it a few more times later in the run to make jumping higher easier, because your jump height is actually proportional to your running speed. So I will be using it for some very precise jumps later. Speaking of precise jumps, I'm just gonna have to jump off a cliff here. You know, common trend in this stage. Fall all the way down to the bottom.
Yeah.
That can be pretty scary. I've got a pretty consistent camera setup for that. And we just wall jump up to the star there. Man, I never hit it on the first try, but I always have to back up a little bit there. But yeah, that's a scary trick right there. And now, an iconic star that perhaps some of you have been waiting for. It's time for the baby penguin. I love the baby penguin. The baby penguin's great. That was my fault. I was just going to say, the baby penguin is great and so easy to grab, so cooperative in this game. Unfortunately, I had a bad angle, so...
Well, we can't blame the baby penguin because we love the baby
just
penguin.
Gonna precariously grab him from over there. This is fine. This is the normal way to go.
Almost went to the chimney. No big deal.
That's fine. Yeah, I'm just gonna jump off a cliff again, as we do. And oh hey, there's the parent penguin. This is probably the worst parent in any video game ever, as far as I've played. How do you lose your child on the top of a mountain? Like, I get parenting is hard, but how do you just leave your child on a mountain peak? I don't know.
We were talking a little bit before the run, and you mentioned sometimes when you're performing that, and you know, we want to get the child as fast as possible. Mm-hmm. The parent doesn't recognize the kid's right there?
Yeah, sometimes the parent will talk to you right as you land, but not notice that the child is standing right in front of it. So yeah, not the best at finding their child. This stage, gotta do some precise flying here to get all these red coins. The first two are the hardest, but still gotta be careful. I do like the flying controls in this game. They're pretty smooth. Alright, pretty easy to just pilot yourself into those coins there. Okay, well, lost my bearings a little bit, but now I just gotta press this switch. Oh! It's okay. I was trying to jump off the switch so I didn't have to read the text box, but that's okay. Got the star, and now that switch has activated power-ups. We can now use different power-ups, and by different I mean only one. We will only be using one power-up. And unfortunately now we have to go back to Womps, because there are actually 3 more stars left in this level.
Ellie, you promised us we didn't have to go back
I didn't
to
promise anything. I don't remember
okay,
saying
you know
that.
it's true. You didn't promise anything. It's true.
But now, yep, we're getting... Oh my god, bad angle. We're getting 100 coins here. And one of the things about this is that there's a pretty precise like cycle you have to make. And when I say pretty precise, I mean I've probably already messed up enough to not make this cycle. But it's fine. So as Mario just sort of A-poses into the void there, I'm at least going to get another opportunity to try and make that cycle. That was a very small gap. It was probably the size of Mario himself, but he kind of just anticlimactically fell in. So that's not a great introduction to this Super Mushroom power-up.
Just like a circle and a square hole.
Fit right in. Alright, so anyway, the Super Mushroom power-up that I'm hopefully not going to jump off a cliff with. It's very useful for breaking objects like this very quickly, and these objects have a lot of coins in them, and that is basically the whole strategy of this 100 coin star. Break a bunch of objects that are full of coins, like, you know, flowers, obviously. Deadly flowers have a lot of money. And then once it runs out, just continue to get some blue coins, and then I have to make a cycle here. Whoa, that's not good. Hopefully I can still make it. Slide kick up there. Oh, the cycle is long gone. Oh well. Not quite fast enough on my movement to make that cycle, but just have to wait for it to turn around a little bit. No big deal. Right, after a little break there, now we can continue with the star. Still some more coins to get. I'm gonna actually use this thwomp as a platform to jump off of. And there we're seeing the power of Mario's triple jump. Mario can get a ton of height with the triple jump in this game. It's probably one of the best tools in this game. Especially the triple jump dive, gaining so much distance with the both vertically and horizontally, so you can make it up to that platform. And then we're just gonna go back down and get the star. So, one small death, no big deal. Fine, I'm not gonna be counting them or anything. And there we go. 1 star left in this level. This is one of the new Switch stars that are exclusive to the DS remake. So we just gotta go find the button with a star on it and bonk directly into a wall. Classic. But just bust this wall open, and that spawns a little star. This can I stop bonking on things? Luckily this timer is very generous, as I was about to say. I think someone once did a challenge where they activated that switch by pressing the button and then left and fought the Womp King, like on top of the fortress, fought him and defeated him, came back down, and the switch was still active. So that's how long that timer is. I need to jump over this railing. Alright. Now that we have 19 stars, we finally have enough to unlock the 3-star door. So we can go into Jolly Roger Bay, which is our first water level.
19 is more than 3?
I'm pretty sure. That or this game is bugged.
Could be.
Could be. So we're going to use the shell here. The shell just sort of lets you glide across the water much faster than swimming in this case. And now it's swimming time. So you'll start to see why we use the shell to get across the water. It's because swimming is pretty slow. You do not want to be swimming in this game. Mario is actually the second fastest swimmer. Believe it or not, there is a speed even slower than that. And then there's a speed slower than that one. Do not go swimming with Wario. I cannot recommend that. If you're going to go swimming in this game, you should be doing it with Luigi. But unlocking Luigi takes too long, unfortunately, so it's not... Woo! Oh no. Please. Mario falling down this little jungle gym of a ship here. Slopes can be tricky. Touching a slope can just kill all your speed. But that's okay, we got up there eventually. Now we're going to do a bit more swimming. If there's anything you want to chime in with.
Absolutely. I did actually have a question for you, but first, just a reminder that while you're not really going too out of bounds, we are here at Lady Arcaders Out of Bounds Torontrois, a women and femme gaming event in participation with Toronto Games Week 2026. This is a live 2-day event. This is day number 2, and we're celebrating gaming through a variety of challenges, including speedruns and other exciting showcases, and you can access the event schedule by typing !schedule in chat. Now, you mentioned Luigi earlier, Emily, and that he's slower for the speedrun, and of course, like, the Wario fans didn't work hard enough to get you to play Wario. Is Mario the preferred speedrun character solely because of the wall jump?
So the wall jump is definitely the major part of why Mario is the best character for speedruns, as opposed to, I don't know, Luigi or Yoshi.
Like, or is like the movement also like involved in that? Because like Luigi apparently swims faster.
Luigi does swim faster, so he is useful for water levels in particular, which if you watched a 100% run, so like a 150 stars run, you know, obviously you would have to unlock all the characters for that, even Wario. Barely. So you would see Luigi used specifically for all of the water levels in that, so there's some nice little routing going on there. 150 stars is a great category. Maybe
Okay,
if I feel like a
Wario
3-hour...
in the notes, Chafee.
Alright, got it.
but we're done with that water level now. And I'm just going to be heading back and doing the Princess's Secret slide again, because you have to do it twice for some reason. But yeah, Mario's other great features are the fact that he's the main character. And that sounds like, you know, I'm speaking metaphorically, but no, literally just because he is the main character, he's the only one that is allowed to unlock certain doors. Because Bowser will say, "Hey, you're not Mario. You're not that guy like fighting all the time. Go away. Where's Mario?"
So Mario gets the princess treatment.
Exactly. Mario is the only one that can unlock certain doors in this game. So the game will basically just force you to use Mario at certain intervals in the game, which makes routing, you know, if you're trying to play as other characters, a little annoying. But it's fine. Speaking of those doors, speaking of fighting Bowser, we're going to get to our first one right here. They ran out of numbers apparently, so they just started making big stars and just hoping you can figure it out yourself. That door takes 12 stars to unlock, but 12 was just such a big number that they couldn't write it all on one door, obviously. And now we're in the Bowser stages. The infamously difficult platforming challenges with a lot of running, jumping, and I'm just kidding, I'm using a power-up. I kind of didn't introduce this in the previous level, but this is Mario's special ability in this game. The ability to be filled with helium. So instead of a nice little platforming challenge here, I am just sort of skipping half of it by just becoming a balloon, which is my favorite part of this level. Oh my god. I did not think I was going to make that. I was like, oh, well, I died. I'm going to have to restart the whole level. Mario miraculously ledge grabbed that. Grabbing a moving platform in this game is actually tremendously difficult. Very surprised that Mario decided to save himself there. That's very nice. Alright, we got the red coins, now there's just another switch star. So much stuff happens in this game so fast. I can barely talk about half of the things. But there's a quick switch star, and now we can fight Bowser. As I grapple with the camera here. There we go. Nice little triple jump just for swag. And we're in there. Alright, another famous part of these Mario 64 and Mario 64 DS games is throwing Bowser by spinning around really fast after grabbing his tail. And these throws are kind of infamous in speedruns because missing them loses a lot of time. Okay, thank God I hit that one. That's the easiest one, the shortest distance. So it's good that I didn't throw him off the edge there. And that's our first Bowser fight.
Bowser treats us like a princess, and this is what he gets.
I need to take a sip of water here. Alright, 25 stars down. I don't know how to do math. Some more to go. But we're going to the backyard now.
I'll say at least 10 stars.
At least 10 more stars. We'll check after 10 more and then see. I accidentally zoomed out my camera there. Alright, so the backyard is all themed around booze. There are these little white floating ghosts everywhere. But first, I'm taking a detour into this secret level, another one exclusive to Super Mario 64 DS. This level was actually made as like a multiplayer sort of area for like fighting in the versus mode, but they decided to just put it in the game as a... Oh hey, the Ghost Goomba! Anyone see that guy just pop up for a second there? An invisible Goomba... Well, not invisible. What's the opposite of invisible? Only visible, not anything else. An intangible Goomba can just appear during a cutscene there. So we call him the Ghost Goomba. But yeah, this is just a short little silver star mission where I think we've seen 1 or 2 of these already, but collects 5 silver stars. Spawned a golden star. They brought this mechanic back, I think, for the Galaxy games after. Alright, now it's time to make like Luigi and defeat some ghosts. They like to turn invisible and not be able to be killed. Which, as you can imagine, is not good when I'm trying to speedrun killing them, because they have red coins inside them. I need to collect all 8. There we go. I should probably pick that one up instead of leaving it behind. But that's okay, I'll go back around. There's 5 red coins, 6. One more guy. There we go. And then the one I forgot. There we go. There's just a quick little secret mission. Okay, now we're entering Big Boo's haunt. This is the home base of the Boos. And now it's time for one of the hardest tricks in the run. So I'm gonna try to get it in focus here. First try.
Let's go!
Let's go. That is nice to get first try. I don't usually do that in like, you know, PB attempts or anything. Now I actually have to get to the star. I like that little trick wall jump there to get up to the roof. So yeah, we just scaled the outside of the mansion because climbing up the inside of the mansion is just a little too slow for speedrunners.
Stairs, they're not real.
They're not. There's no stairs inside the mansion. You just have to jump up the inside. But now we will actually be going into the mansion to get 2 more stars. But yeah, good to have that trick out of the way as I bonk into the steps. So this star has actually got another little trick. Not nearly as difficult as the previous one, but I kind of just skipped this puzzle by just phasing through it. There's no explanation for why that works. You just press the long jump buttons right as you run into the bookshelf, and Mario forgets the bookshelf is there.
After spending all those times with the Boos, Mario picked up a few tricks.
Yeah, you can go through walls too. All right, one more level here, and we're gonna have to deal with some Boos again. This time in the basement. Oh, there are the stairs. Now they exist. Exactly when they would get in my way. Those only exist in this mission, or in this, you know, after you beat the first mission. Well, I didn't actually beat the first mission. I just skipped straight to level 3.
Only when you no longer need them.
Yep. So here, these Boos are spawning out of this painting, but I'm just kind of killing them faster than they can actually get out. Okay. Then they spawn the big one, which I need to attack here. Okay, these 5 Boos are actually really cooperative this time. The big one took a little bit of convincing, but that actually went really well. That was actually a good Big Boo's haunt. That is a very dense level. Only 3 stars, but it's got hard tricks in every single one.
You really went through the first 5 Boos so fast you couldn't even see
Yeah,
them.
that was really great. Honestly, sometimes like if you just mess up the timing on one of those kicks, the Boo will not be there and just... That's not... I did not mean to do a backflip into the ceiling right there.
Look, you can have a victory backflip, Mario. It's cool.
He's just celebrating. Yep. Alright, kind of the opposite of the previous level, kind of the antithesis. Instead of just having 3 really precise stars with a lot of movement and tricks, we have 3 stars where you go swimming. That's right, it's time for Dire Docks. So the first star, you spawn right in water in this level, so there's not even like an opportunity to avoid the water, you're just thrown right in. And it's swimming time. At least this level has nice relaxing music.
It has such a scary name for this music.
They're not that dire, honestly. The docks, they're not that dire. Some of the names are accurate. Cool Mountain is pretty cool. Cool Mountain. Tall Mountain is pretty tall. Dire Docks, not that dire, honestly. Alright, that's the first star down. Whoops, now we're going to be going for the manta rings. So, the second mission here. Just gotta follow this manta and swim into all these rings. Kind of just take a little detour and cut off the first 2 and apparently the first 3. Oh, okay. That was a very generous third ring there. I did not think that would have counted. The rings in this game are a lot more generous than the infamous bugged hitbox, tiny hitbox ones in the 64 version. Those rings cause a lot of pain in the 1996 game, but they're a lot nicer in this one. Alright. If you thought that wasn't enough swimming, you're in luck. Time to swim all the way through the tunnel to the other side of this level. Makes you kind of wish we unlocked Luigi in the previous one. But yeah, just gonna be swimming for a while.
I mean, we're here for speed. But speaking of being here, then it sounds like we've got a little time to talk about the events and more.
Yep.
All right, everyone, for a limited time, you can score exclusive Lady Arcaders Out of Bounds 3 merch. From soccer-inspired jerseys, field mouse pads, scrunchies, and posters, to event-themed t-shirts, muscle tanks, and stickers, there's something for every Lady Arcaders fan. And if you're joining us in person, don't miss our exclusive Lady Arcaders trading cards featuring performers from this event. Cough, cough, wink, wink. Every purchase helps support future Lady Arcaders events, programs, and tech. To browse the collection, type !merch in chat or visit the merch table if you're attending in person. Thanks for supporting Lady Arcaders.
I just gotta point out the cough, cough, wink, wink, because not only do I have a speedrunner here on host desk with me, but also, Emily, this is your first in-person event.
This is, and I was definitely just failing that trick 7 times in a row so that you would have time to finish.
We appreciate that.
Not because I lined it up wrong or anything.
So we've got a rare superstar. That's not one of the 80 stars, by the way. But we've got a rare superstar here with us at Lady Arcaders Out of Bounds Toronto.
Alright. Bowser in the Fire Sea. That's not how you jump 3 times on a platform. There we go. Platform was just a little bit too short for me to jump on 3 times. But that's okay. Mario can burn in lava a few times, he's fine.
Oh yeah.
Alright, I had to do a max height jump there that allowed me to skip sort of having to loop around in this level by getting that coin early. Having to do a max height jump by charging up running and doing a full running speed triple jump there. The elevator's giving me some issues now. But it's good to get that trick out of the way. Can I still make this cycle? Oh, it's so close. That's alright. The elevator gave me too much trouble. Oh, yeah, I still snuck the coin in there. At least I got that. Now I just have to wait for it to go up a little bit higher. Almost fell off there. I did fall off there. Whoops. Let's try to hurry back up there. No.
Oh, nice save!
No, that's okay. I was trying to make that cycle even though it was a little late on it. Okay, that's fine. That cycle is actually kind of interesting because instead of being a cycle that starts, you know, when the level starts, please don't die here. Okay, just have to be careful there. Each lava burn or fire burn does 3 damage, so you can only take 2 before you die. And that's the last red coin there. Very scary level here, but besides this cycle, it all went fine. Oh yeah, I was talking about the cycle. Instead of starting when the level starts, it starts as soon as the camera is pointed in its general direction. So for the first half of that level, I kind of just was manipulating the camera. Not like doing too much, but as soon as I got into that little room where the 4th red coin was, I had to turn the camera around at a specific time to load that platform at a specific time to try to give myself enough time to make it to that cycle. Unfortunately, standing in between me and the cycle is the elevator, and the elevator gave me some trouble. But that's okay, we're on to the fight now. Alright, I'm going to try to skip Bowser's entire one attack in this fight right here, so... I was a little slow on that, that's okay. You can long jump under Bowser and then grab him before he even lands and slams the ground and tilts the stage. So he basically cannot attack if you get that right. I was a little too far on the long jump, so I didn't back up in time, but that's okay. It does make the fight really fast if you do hit it though.
Okay, but this fight was still fast.
It was
maybe not really, but still
it
fast.
was still fast, I guess. Alright, that's alright though. We're finished with Bowser in the Fire Sea, which normally would mean you're finished with this phase of the game, like you're finished with the whole basement of the castle, but we kind of entered the basement and went straight to the boss. We kind of haven't entered the rest of the basement yet, and there's a lot of valuable stars there, so we're doing the basement out of order, basically. And now here is one of these stages I dislike the most. I think I said when explaining this run that I put this in my list of tricks because just surviving this level feels like a speedrun trick. Having to jump over this giant sand pit and barely make it across to the other side. Hope that Shy Guy that flies around isn't just on a bad RNG cycle and be standing directly in my way, because he can't just do that. And that's how we stand on the 4 pillars. Okay. Sort of scale the side of the pyramid there, not scary at all. Definitely not deadly quicksand at the bottom of that. And we're good.
And now that you found that star, I need to let you know chat is praying for good SSL for you.
Thank you, chat. Alright. That's the hardest star. That's the one where the most things can go wrong, so it's good to get that one out of the way. Now we've got Klepto. He's got a star for us. Oh, sorry there. Tornadoes are real and they can hurt you. So I've got to get off this platform quick before the tornado gets there. Okay, good. That was good. Tornado was actually pretty slow today. Perfect. 1 star left in this level, and then we're free from sand. Stretch a little bit there. Alright, shine on top of the pyramid. I'm going to do this in a sort of a safe way. With Mario's amazing triple jump, you can just kind of go over that sand pit there. And yes, that was a safe version. That was that was the more reliable way to get that star. But there we go. Perfect. That was a very good shifting sand line. Very nice to see. Alright. Now we have Shifting Sand Lane Jr. All of the sand is replaced by lava, but it's basically a very similar level, just a lot of places where you can just fall off a tiny platform and, well, not die, but I guess lava is less deadly than sand. Don't try this at home.
I feel like that's a running theme for this run. Don't try this at home.
Yeah, don't get into fights with giant metal spheres.
Let someone else try it.
Yeah.
Let Emily try it.
Yeah. It's easy, just push them into the lava. My hair is falling out of my headset. Alright, there we go. So this stage has well, it has 7 stars plus 100 coin. We're going to be getting every star but the 100 coin star. Funnily enough, there are routes that do get the 100 coin star, but it's only faster if you do it, like, perfectly. So, unless you make every single cycle... Speaking of making cycles, I was a little bit slow to that puzzle there. Now that all the puzzle pieces are going to be off... Okay, no, we're good. Just a little late and the puzzle just kind of moves out from under you. But that's alright. Alright, maybe now we'll enter the volcano and do some stars in there. Whoops, there we go. Halfway through the run now, 40 stars. What am I doing? I don't know why I was selecting a level there. All of the first 4 levels are pretty much the same. Selecting them doesn't do anything. But selecting the last 3 levels does drastically change the level, which I will get to after this. It's actually the reason we do the stars sort of out of order in the stage and get one of the volcano stars out of the way early. Nice instant pull grab there. And now... slightly precarious jump over the entire volcano there. But there we go. Went pretty well. Getting one of the... Oh, I moved my mic now, it's a lot louder. Sorry. Getting one of the volcano stars out of the way means that you can select that mission, and now, if we go over here, there'll be an item box here with a shell in it, and the shell can just ride over lava, which is very useful for quickly getting over to this star over here, just like that. The star is very annoying to do without that power-up, or without that shell. It's very lucky that you can just select the right mission and get the shell to spawn. I learned the hard way that you cannot do that in the original Super Mario 64. It was very annoying to find out that that shell just... you cannot just spawn it early in that game.
That sounds like you started running Super Mario 64 DS before you gave 64 a try.
So yes, this was my first ever speed game, despite the fact that, like, you know, whatever YouTube videos and like media that I found were probably mostly for the original. I didn't have the original. I just had this game. So eventually I did learn to speedrun this game. First just, you know, playing for fun on my own, but eventually becoming a part of the speedrunning community, probably back in like 2019. So yeah, this is the game I've been speedrunning for the longest, but I did eventually decide to try out the other 3D Mario platformers and see what all the, you know, all the fuss was about. So by this point, I have actually become one of the few people that speedruns all 9 of the 3D Mario games, all the way up until the Bowser's Fury pack-in title with 3D World on the Switch, which is honestly a really underrated game, really fun. Like, even just not as a speedrun, it's a really fun game. You should check it out. But yeah, I've speedrun all 7 of the 3D Mario games. If you want to know my tier list, I can tell you about that. But
I may have some questions about that when you have time.
Yeah, so this game, started out with it, been playing it the longest, but I gotta say after playing the other ones, maybe it's because, you know, I hold myself to a higher standard in this game, but damn, this game is one of the harder ones, I gotta say. This game has some very precise platforming, some kind of unintuitive mechanics with like how speed conservation works sometimes. Like, every time I jump with this, while I'm on this shell, I have to let go of the control stick because that is faster. Just weird little mechanics like that. But, you know, despite its difficulty, I do love this game, of course. But honestly, all of the 3D Mario speedruns have, you know, a lot going for them. The Galaxy games, you know, would seem pretty slow-paced and chill at first, but they do have some of the most complicated and difficult tricks in the series, as well as some like ridiculous speedrunning tech involving using 2 Wii remotes at once in the same hand, which like was a controversial technique a few years ago, but now that's just like how all Galaxy speedruns are done, basically. Holding a giant brick of 2 Wii remotes in your right hand, using the 2-player mode on yourself, basically. Very interesting speed games.
And that also sounds like speed tech does not translate from 3D Mario to 3D Mario.
Oh, absolutely not. Absolutely not. All the games are so different. I mean, the two Galaxy games are probably the most similar two games, obviously, but even those, a lot of mechanics work completely differently. Mostly, specifically, that two-player mechanic being a sort of disembodied cursor in the first game that can click on Mario to force him to jump against his will, to being just a tiny little cute Luma in the second game that can grab items for you. So yeah, those are cool speedruns. The original 64, obviously is a classic. It's a little rough around the edges, but since it is such a popular speed game, it's so easy to get into and learn, so it's got that going for it. Mario Sunshine, of course, probably the most jank 3D Mario game, but I gotta say, really fun to speedrun. I do love Mario Sunshine. It's probably my second best game after this one. I recently achieved my goal time of sub 1 hour and 30 minutes in Sunshine, which I was working at for a long time. And then I guess I'm just going through how much I like every game, because this stage is pretty simple. But yeah, then there's the 3D Land on the 3DS, there's 3D World on the Wii U, so those two games go hand in hand. 3D World got re-released on the Switch, and for some reason in that version, they just decided, what if we make every character 3 times faster? Okay, not 3 times, but like, every character just base running speed is way faster on the Switch for some reason. So yeah, talk about really obsoleting a speedrun. Speedrunning that game on the Wii U is basically impossible to compete with the Switch, because they just decided, yeah, what if every character just runs at light speed? That does make it a fun speedrun, though.
I gotta know, how long does that typically... Do you do it all together or all separate?
Hang on. I just gotta say that we're playing as Wario right now. So all the Wario fans,
So sorry.
This is your moment. There are 2 stars in this game where we temporarily play as Wario.
Do we have any Wario fans in the crowd here?
Where the Wario fans at?
No Wario.
We got one! We got a couple!
There we go. We've always got Wario fans. Okay, one more Wario star and we're out of here. But I think you were asking me about, like, playing all of the different...
Yeah, like, do you do it all at once, or is it just separate?
So most of the time I will be just focusing on one game at a time, because obviously there's a lot to remember in speedrunning with, especially just having, like, memory of all these tricks and how to perform them and having your practice be fresh. But as a challenge, I have tried to do all 9 games back to back. Over the course of 2 days, I managed to beat all 9 games in 16 hours plus a sleep break, which is actually the current world record for that. But, if anyone out there loves all 9 3D Mario games, definitely something you should try out. It takes a while to learn them all, but once you do, it's really fun to just do that, and you can try to take a world record away from me if you really just hate me.
I believe you have been challenged, all of you watching this at home, to try the Super Mario 3D speedruns for yourself.
They're really great. There's a community of people that do runs of like multiple 3D Mario games in a row, like sort of the multi-Mario community we're called. And there's like big annual races of like some of the more popular games. I need to remember which star I'm doing. Okay. The problem with Wet Dry World is I always enter the level and forget all of what I'm doing as soon as I can. Always seems to happen in this level. But yeah, the Multi-Mario community, shout out to them. Whoops. I have to land in this tiny little ledge with the star. There we go. It's a very precise little hole to get into there. Eventually we snuck in there. Yeah. Unfortunately, Super Mario 64 DS sort of has a barrier to entry in just being on a DS. Because unfortunately that means it's, being on a home console, being attached to a TV, that you can just plug in an HDMI cable, you even just point a camera at it, and really easy to get into, stream, and everything, record. But with a DS that's kind of more difficult, so a lot of people will end up, in the early days just sort of having that webcam setup where you point a webcam at 3DS, and you know, there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with pointing a webcam at your DS if you just want to try out the speedrun.
Yeah.
It definitely is. And I should mention that if you really don't want to play on a handheld, which I can understand, there is a Wii U Virtual Console port of this game. I need to make this sort of precise jump here. There we go. Moving triple jump. All the way to the top of the town. So yeah, there is a Wii U version of this game. If you do want to try it out, definitely a fun game to try to speedrun. Definitely a learning curve. There's a lot to get used to, but it is really fun once you start to figure out all the mechanics.
Thank you for shouting out the potato cam strat, by the way.
Yes.
You're getting some love for that in chat.
Let's go, potato cam fans. Alright, what's this event called again?
Lady Arcaders Out of Bounds Torontrois.
Yo, that's what I'm doing. I'm out of bounds.
Whoa!
So you can use a pause clip there to just sort of clip into a random box. And I actually got the pause clip first try, which is really rare. But now I'm kind of just out of bounds. And I sort of can just swim into a load trigger to activate this place and then swim through the ceiling because it's only solid on one side and get that star that you would normally have no way of accessing with only Mario. So there's a sneaky little way to get a star there. Very cool out of bounds trick there. Honestly, not even that hard. There's even a way of doing it without pause clipping, which pause clipping is actually one of the more recent finds in this game, only in the past few years. Really revolutionized a lot of stuff.
We love new strats.
Yep. Alright, Tiny Huge Island. I'm going to be getting 6 stars here, so it's a pretty long level. Oops. I'm going to be doing 2 on the huge side, and then 4 where I enter on the small side. Because that's the whole gimmick of this level. There's the big version and the small version. Whoops. The big version just happens to be the fastest if you're trying to get into this little cavern sub-area, which is where a bunch of the stars are found. So, there we go. Got a switch star. Really weird mechanic here. If you hold the center camera button while the fade out of the level is happening, like while you're coming back into the castle, it lets you center the camera during a cutscene, which you're normally not allowed to do. So you can hold L as the level ends to just give yourself more control of the camera mid cutscene, which is kind of the only place that can be done. And it is really useful because the camera that it gives you by default is kind of useless. Kind of doesn't point in any of the directions I'm trying to go. Ow. Just a sharp corner of that wall. I'm sure that was really painful if you're Mario.
Wario's got some padding. Sorry, Mario's got some padding. Wario definitely has some padding.
Alright, precarious little platforms here. There we go. Bonk right into the red coin star. Perfect. I love bonking into stars. You know, you don't have... Oh, I forgot to hold that. All that talk about having a good camera angle, and here we go, and I have to, like, awkwardly try to maneuver into this painting. I'm making it look harder than it is, but the bonk is for effect, you know. Anyway, now on the small side of the island, which is very different. You can kind of just scale the mountain in just a few seconds, but you can also use these pipes to go back into the big side, which is the best way to get to this area.
I have to say I love the naming scheme for these. Much better. Wet, dry, and tiny, huge.
Great names.
Yep.
Alright, that Chuckya there can be scary, but, you know, if you know what you're doing, you can become friends with the Chuckya. You can get to know him. You can figure out how to not get grabbed by him.
Isn't the grabbing just a kind of a hug?
Yeah, but sometimes you can't have a hug because you're speedrunning. You know, if someone tried to hug me right now and be like, sorry, I'm playing a game right now.
Hug percent.
Speedrun mid-hug.
We've got stars to collect.
Right.
Out of bounds to be.
Trying to pluck some of the weeds here. That's not where that one is. Alright.
Every star you get a hug.
Whoa! Alright. Normally you get a break between stars, but not in this level because I have to remember to hold the camera button because I've forgotten the past 3 times. There we go. Camera control, woo!
I want to shout out this chat message. The bonks are the spices on a speedrun meal.
That's good. The speedrun meal. Reminds me of a certain joke that a certain Galaxy runner likes to tell. If you know, you know. Guys, what do speedrunners like to eat? Fast food.
Okay, that's good. Just got a thumbs down from the audience.
They should be thumbs downing that. It's terrible. I'm just kidding. Shoutouts to Jay from Wales, the best Galaxy speedrunner, who apparently came up with that joke. God, he's a funny guy. He's great. Honestly, without watching Jay from Wales, I probably wouldn't have ever got into like learning what the Galaxy speedruns are all about. And if I didn't learn what the Galaxy speedruns are all about, probably wouldn't have learned what all the other 3D Mario speedruns are all about. So that was kind of part of my pathway into this community. So shoutouts to Jay. Alright, one more star. Which means I have to remember to hold the camera button one more time. But this is one of the shorter stars in level. Klepto is holding the star hostage, so I'm just gotta get all the way up here. Punch that Goomba out of the way. Oh no, I missed him. Klepto, come back. Klepto. You know what? I'll just meet him on the other side. Just gotta. Don't set me on fire. I don't really need that right
Don't you know
now.
we're speedrunning here?
Klepto, please. Okay. So if you miss Klepto on top of the mountain, luckily the spot where he goes to is also the spot where the star spawns. So you're going there anyway. But that was close. I thought he was gonna leave. That would have been really bad. I even cleared out the mini Goomba so that the mini Goomba couldn't bother me. All for nothing. Alright, time to talk to Toad here. Alright, so far this run's going pretty good. We're at 60 stars now. What's that? 3/4 of the way in?
We're 75% of the way through.
Yeah, and this is an easy star right here.
You can do percentages?
No, I talked to
Sometimes-
Toad again. I shouldn't have said it was an easy star. Accidentally talked to him several times.
Sometimes you do math, but it turns out when you do math, you interrupt speedrunning, so we need to stop doing math.
That is true.
Alright. Tall Mountain. Very short and sweet stage. Just 3 stars, but it's got a lot of cool movement. First off, we'll be getting the red coins. They're very precarious. I keep using the word precarious today. They're very precarious. Everything's precarious in this game.
Would you call it dire?
The dire red coins. But you can sort of scale this little cliff side here with some funny jumps. Can I get the slide flip? Beautiful. Slide flip up to the top one. Harder than it looks because you kind of can't see the platform that you're jumping to. But there we go. Alright. Next up, we're going to see the true power of Mario's triple jump. If you know at this level, you probably know about the lonely mushroom star, where there's just a star on a far-off mushroom. But it's not that far, turns out. Ooh,
You can make that jump?
that was really close, honestly. That was a pretty bad angle, but I still made it, which is saying a lot. Let's go. That's
Wow.
That's just that was all Mario, honestly. That wasn't that hard for me to do, but yeah, shoutouts to Mario's triple jump. Casual players of this game are probably familiar with Luigi's backflip, which makes Luigi sort of flutter through the air and fall really slowly. So that's great for clearing distances. Oh my god, there's a fly. Had to swat a fly in real life, failing the speedrun now. So Luigi's backflip is great for clearing long distances, but why would you use that when you could just use Mario? There's a similar distance by just jumping hard enough. Alright, whoops.
When I played this game, not out of my age here, a long time ago, the only reason I bugged Luigi is just to play poker with him.
As I was doing. A lot of people remember the mini games in this game. They're pretty iconic. They don't bear much relevance to speedruns, shockingly. But you know, they're always there if you need a break. All right, Snowman's Land. Another pause clip. Oh, almost first try. There we go. Second try pause clip. To get into this cannon, which normally would take an entire detour to unlock. Normally getting up to this star at the top is really annoying, but thank God for pause clips. That star was one of the hardest in the run before pause clips were discovered, because you would actually have to do some really precise platforming to scale the whole snowman, and now you can just pause. Alright, I'm going to try to do a cool little jump here over the frozen pond. Perfect. Right under the block. So fun fact, little story about me here. When I first tried to speedrun Super Mario 64, like the original, which was only pretty recently, when I got to this level, I just tried to go that way. I just tried to jump over over the wall like I just did, and it worked. And then someone in my chat was like, "How did you do that? That is extremely precise." Apparently, it's really easy in this version, but it's kind of tricky in the original. But you know, I guess something does translate between games. All right, 67 stars. We are now onto the final floor. That's everything in that level already. On to the final stage. That's not a that's not movement. Alright, final big star door. For some reason, Mario is also the only one that can unlock this one, despite the fact that it doesn't even lead to Bowser. They just wanted to make things more annoying to play as every other character in the game. I might have entered on moving time. No, I didn't. Wow, this game is really generous with the clock hands. So if you don't know, you have to enter while the minute hand is pointing towards the 12, and that hand was probably pointing towards, like, I don't know, 47 minutes on the clock or something, but generously let me go. And so now, as I do all these funny looking jumps and wall kicks, I'm just gonna clip through a solid wall here. There we go. That's, you can just walk through that. You just can. Whoa, oh, I'm gonna be late. I was late for the clock again, I have to wait. There we go. So yeah, this stage is the most vertical stage in the game, so unsurprisingly, we're going to be using triple jumps and wall kicks basically the entire time. That's not... I did not get the right angle on that side flip. That's okay. I can just start collecting coins.
That's what it looks like when you're not as good as Emily.
Yep.
Actually, that's what it looks like when you're exactly as good as Emily. That's exactly what it looks like if you are Emily playing the game. You know, despite the fact that you can only hold 8 different directions in this game, still hard to get the right one sometimes. But yeah, now I'm just going to be collecting coins on my way up as I do these nice little precise wall jumps between 2 walls there. I mean, most wall jumps are between 2 walls, but... safety coins? Can I please have my safety coins? Thank you.
Nope, not allowed.
Alright, here's the triple blue coin. That first blue coin was louder than all the other ones because it's just 3 blue coins in a trench coat. Fun fact. They accidentally placed 3 blue coins there. Or maybe on purpose, who knows. You know, you've got to balance the coin economy. Got to sneak in some coins maybe if you took some out of other places. Which they did do, actually. That jump is scary. Do that blindly. Alright, I have plenty of coins. I did not need those safety coins earlier, but I mean, that's why they're called safety coins. I'm 96 here, and I have 106. That's gotta be my little coin high score for this run. Not a record you're trying to chase in a speedrun. Why did I long jump there? That was unnecessary risk. Alright, here we go. I actually bonked directly into the star. Okay, if you've been watching me practice for this run, every time I try to bonk into the star, which would only look cool and not be effective in any way, and miss it every single time, just losing 3 seconds for no reason. And I still decide to go for it every single time. But we finally hit it, so there we go.
It's the event buff. You're allowed to have swag.
Oh my gosh, can I... if you don't have the right camera angle right at the start, it kind of throws off all the other movement. This is what happened there. That's okay, I'm just gonna... No, let's go this way. Do this little jump again that we did earlier, but this time... But, I mean, I guess we're not doing anything much different. You know what? I'm just gonna take the pole. We're doing the switch star. Ooh. We're almost there, 10 stars away. We're getting close. There we go. This is one of the harder levels in the game, you know, especially being towards the end of the run, you know, obviously you're more tired, you're under more pressure now. So these last two stages, you know, they're always going to be tricky.
Also mentioning the DS isn't the easiest console to hold for long periods of time.
That's true. I have very weak hands. Okay, can I get this jump once today? I missed it all 3 times I've tried to go for it, but that's okay. Just back it up by backflipping up. Another big triple jump from Mario.
Wow.
You can just jump right over there. It's very nice. Alright, one more star left. I always save this one for last. It's the red coin star. So, if I get my camera angle lined up correctly, just like that. Nice. Tried to do a little swag side flip there to get up to the ledge earlier. Whoop. Let's backflip Mario. There we go. No, I missed the last red. That's okay. There we go. Don't usually miss that one, but oh well. Another bonk into the star. That one is actually, you know, optimal. As far as I know. Okay, finally out of TikTok clock. That is a really tough one. Have I been abbreviating it to TTC? Because that...
You have not mentioned TTC once so far, actually.
Really? Yeah, TikTok clock, TTC. You know, the Toronto Transit Commission we all know and love. So yeah. Both places where you can often slow down for no reason.
Okay, no, that one deserves a round.
Oh gosh. Clapping for the weirdest things in this run.
Of course.
Alright. Oops. So Mario's triple jump comes in handy here because you can kind of skip this whole carpet sequence by just climbing up these conveniently placed poles. I don't know why these are here, to be honest, if not to be used to skip the entire carpet sequence, but here they are. So yeah, if you're a fan of Mario 64 speedruns, you've probably heard of Carpetless, the hardest trick in that game, recently discovered, saves a bunch of time. In this game, Carpetless is just inflating Mario with helium and then flying to the top of the level. And there we go, no carpets needed. Easiest carpetless you'll ever see. Alright, now I'm just going to do that one more time because being able to fly basically anywhere on the level is pretty useful for certain stars. That balloon power-up conveniently located inside a giant permanent gust of wind makes it so that you can gain a bunch of speed with turning the normally slow balloon power-up, which is kind of just only useful vertically, into an extremely useful and extremely fast horizontal method of travel. Okay, precise triple jumps on very small platforms. There we go. I mentioned this at the beginning, but triple jumps in this game being so lenient, you know, kind of part of its identity as a speedrun, because you can triple jump with basically no space. You know, instead of needing a whole lead up into, you know, 3 whole jumps in sequence, you can kind of just do them on the spot, do the first 2 jumps, which makes it very useful in tight areas like that. Alright, got those first 2 balloon-related stars done. Now we've got some tricky jumps. Some tricky triangles, if you will. Oh, that's not enough momentum. I bonked into the fence there. So I'm just gonna get some momentum on this jump here, and barely make it across. That's pretty precise. And we can skip the triangles by just jumping up to the top one there, and boom!
Nice.
That's a cool little trick there, very neat. There's a lot of really weird IL strats for that star where you like skip straight to the ending platform. Some of them require Luigi actually. His backflip is useful for certain things. Right. Another big precise jump. This one I'm gonna be safe and use the charging mechanic to charge up some run speed to make sure that I make it across. There we go. A little too slow for the cycle. Charging run speed is basically sacrificing a second to run faster for the next little bit. So you do miss a cycle by doing that, but it is much safer, especially for, you know, a live marathon run. 78. 2 stars left, guys. We're so close. Oh my gosh.
I can count to 2.
Okay. You're going to count the next 2 stars. Someone's got to keep track.
Yeah.
Alright, we're doing the red coins now. Pretty different from all the other stars in this level. No big jumps involved, just a funny little maze of coins here. Just gonna jump all around. Oops. There we go. Perfect little kick down to the bottom. And now there's only 1 star left. We're going to be climbing back up to the top of the level for this one, but we're not going to be getting the balloon power up.
Almost forgot 1.
Okay, good. I was hoping you would remember. Alright. So, once again, we're doing this little climb. Gotta really be good at this to do speedruns of this game, because you do it a lot. Like, if you lose 1 second during that movement, you're losing 3 seconds. That's like triple the time. Don't ask how much time I lose doing. Alright, again, to be safe, I'm going to charge up running speed here. And we're just kind of going to let Mario fall down there. Bye. Bye, Mario. Good job getting the 80 stars. We don't need you anymore.
2!
I'm kidding, we do still need Mario, but luckily dying while holding a star in this game does count as getting a star. So we're actually completely fine to just do that, and it actually skips a very short text box saying, hey, you got 80 stars, good job. That's enough. You can beat the game now. It's actually the shortest text box in the game, which is ironic because it still has an entire strat based around skipping it, even though it takes like 1 second. Alright, I'm just gonna do a jump here to skip the first section. Oh, a little too far on the jump. Just get back up here. I don't want to fall down now. Oh, this part's scary. Okay, and then we're gonna skip another section by just jumping up here. Honestly, probably one of the easiest sequence breaks in the game. Uh-oh, I forgot to activate the stairs. No, the stairs! Okay, that's fine. You can climb the slope by just doing a bunch of repeated slide kicks over and over, but I've been running for over an hour. My hands are kind of slippery at this point.
No, that's fair.
So, slide kicks are not the easiest thing to do. But I can jump over all those wooden blocks, which that's just muscle memory. I just know exactly how far to make those jumps. Ooh, that was close. We're almost there. Alright, one last charge up for rank speed, just because we have time to kill there. And whoop, in the pipe. 80 stars. Time to fight Bowser one last time. There we go. So, these are very tricky Bowser throws, farther than all the other ones by a lot. Oh, come on! These Bowser throws are nasty. There's probably like a 1 or 2 frame window to hit those. Even on these ones, which are like closer, like we're not all the way in the middle of the platform yet. Okay, missed by like 2 frames that time. Having these at the end of the run, I gotta say, for actual PB attempts, this is probably the most scary thing. Oh yeah, you missed an input by a frame? Have fun losing 15 seconds to Bowser jumping on and off the entire level. Kind of unfair, honestly. Hopefully I can hit this one though. I'm not spinning him fast enough. There we go. Now we hit the first one. Hopefully the next 2 go better. Let's grab him again. For those curious, I do play I do play using the circle pad. Circle pad's probably the easiest thing to spin for Bowser's Throws. You can use the touchscreen, the circle pad, or the D-pad if you're playing on a 3DS. Some people prefer the D-pad for playing this game, but I've always just been more used to the circle pad, so that's what I use. Bringing that up, right at the end of the speedrun. In case you were curious, by the way, I've been sliding around my little circle pad the whole time. All right, last throw. That looks like a pretty far shot for that one. Maybe this one's a little closer. Oh, perfect. What a throw to finish it off. There we go. All right, time's going to come up when I touch the big star. As soon as Mario jumps into it. And time.
GG.
There we go. That was a pretty good run. Thank you. Honestly, yeah, that felt pretty solid. I'm curious now, what time did I get?
1 hour, 19 minutes, and 16 seconds.
Sub 120. We'll take it. It's nice. All right. Oh, that was a lot of fun.
Yeah, this was a really fun run to watch.
I'm glad. It's. I like getting to show it off because I feel like it's a little underrated as a speedrun, honestly. So I like getting to show it off to people, show all the unique tricks, funny movement, show off Yoshi. You don't get to play as Yoshi too much, honestly. Yoshi's usually just the sidekick, but here he's the main character for a whole 8 stars. 10% of the run. But yeah. I guess if I can do some shoutouts?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I've already mentioned the Multi-Mario community, but also just the Super Mario 64 DS community. Been in there for so long, made so many friends. Great community. Honestly, it's been, 7 years in that community now? Feels like I've been growing up with these people, honestly. But yeah, gotta shout out my own community that of people that I've met through streaming on Twitch, honestly. So many amazing people in my community. So privileged to just be able to have a Twitch channel that I can stream on and hang out with people. And one thing I do want to shout out is one of my friends does run like sort of an online speedrun marathon that raises money for transgender people, and just anyone who's not cis, which is why the marathon is called the Cis-nt Marathon. And they've been running it for 3 years now. Eden8 is the person running it. And I have to shout it out because this year I said I would not be taking part in the marathon because I had a different thing to focus on. So there's my apology for not taking part in that marathon this year, but I had something to do. But shout outs to Eden8 for running that. Definitely check it out. It'll be next week, I'm pretty sure.
Ooh, that's real soon. All right.
Yeah.
We absolutely love supporting other causes. And hey, Emily, real quick, if people want to see more of your runs or join your community, where can they find you?
Absolutely. My username is Emily the Koopa on Twitch and on Discord. I'm in all the 3D Mario speedrunning Discords, or at least most of them. And yeah, I stream all kinds of 3D Mario games, and also Super Paper Mario, which is sometimes 3D, sometimes. But just because that's a game from my childhood, and honestly, I'm gonna say one of the best games of all time, Super Paper Mario. So I speedrun that game as well. Yeah. That's it, I think.
Alrighty. But don't touch that dial. We'll be right back with a CPU versus CPU soccer match. If you are in chat, or even if you're in attendance, hop on our Twitch and put in your prediction on who will win. The Toronto Football Club or the Vancouver Whitecaps Football Club. We will be right back.
Wait, Chafee, Scritchy Scratchy Scam? All right, what a fantastic speedrun of Super Mario 64 DS. That DS is very important, as we've learned, thanks to Emily the Koopa. Ooh, that game is very different from the original N64. Chat, don't go anywhere. We have got a CPU battle, but we want your input. If you're watching in Twitch chat, or even if you're here in person at Taco Taco here in lovely Toronto, Ontario, come join us in the chat and let us know who's going to win. Wait, Chafee, no, I'm sorry, Squishy Scratch the Speedrunner.
Yes.
Don't you have a message for us?
Let's gamble. If you are in our chat, or even if you're in the audience, you can put your channel points towards your prediction. Who will win the CPU soccer match, or football if you're from the European Union? We got the Toronto Football Club and the Vancouver Whitecaps Football Club.
Wait, we're actually playing sports here?
Yeah, sports ball.
Oh, no, I was lied to. I quit. I'm done.
Oh, okay, I guess I'll take over then.
But that's not all. If you've been enjoying the video games, you've seen this event. We've got another event coming up for you.
Absolutely. Lady Arcader's Super Showcase is back for 2026. Our 5th annual Charity Talent Showcase will be running from September 3rd to the 6th, benefiting CARE. Volunteer and game submissions are open now. So if you're enjoying the show, come join us this fall in support of a humanitarian cause with more fun and games. You can check out our website at ladyarcaders.com or type !last in chat for more info.